What are you waiting for?
Come join the Geek Drums Nation. Sup?
Howdy. Hey, stop copying me. We're the howdy and they're the sups.
Give me a soda.
How is everybody doing today?
Pretty good.
Not too shabby.
I was doing good until my lip got cut.
Doing what?
I was getting a haircut.
And
And the clippers are new, so they were like freshly sharpened and stuff. So when I was getting it lined up, it cut the side of my lip.
Your barber
Hi, Laura.
sucks?
Nah, my father cut my hair, so
Oh,
I don't gotta pay money. I'm not doing that.
lucky you. I don't know what happened to my camera, but you can see everything.
You probably tilted it out.
Probably.
Oh, there we go. No. There we go.
You don't want to see that model look?
I'll scoot that back so you can see. Oh, wait. What? Wonder Woman's crooked. Oh, no. Wonder Woman's falling. Thunder. Uh-oh. About to get a
The
thunderstorm?
fallen Justice League.
And I don't care what anybody says. He's staying up. He's staying up there, all right?
Did we find out any more news?
No.
No, it's just like rumors.
Just rumors.
Who's texting me?
Apparently, someone's texting me.
Wait, that's your,
Unprofessional.
What the wow?
that's your text tone? Okay.
Oh yes, two more days into the Power Ranger special. Yes, I'm hyped for that.
Yep. I'm trying to wait for more than 8 people to get here, but hey, they can catch it on playback.
Yeah, I have,
yeah.
Peter Griffin as my texting tone.
I hope 3 Dubs had a great birthday.
Yes.
I did. Apparently, Lance was like, "Happy birthday, brother," and I'm like,
No, that was funny.
Nobody laughed at my joke. Nope, nobody laughed at mine. I don't understand why. I thought
you
the
called me daddy.
I thought the gift
No,
was
that was
pretty
weird.
hilarious.
No, I think I responded to that. I was like, that is a wild.
I thought it was pretty hilarious. What's up,
It was, like
Chainsaw?
it was my first time on Twitter that day. That was like the
You
first thing I
changed your
saw.
profile picture. Was it because of him? That guy? Wherever my point, Lance.
But whoever comes in. I am going to use today to get out my thoughts on the last Gotham Knights episode and Gotham Knights as a whole. And I'm going to talk about my thoughts on Titans because I have not been able to like physically sit down and record my review. In other news, Kata, I figured out my Wi-Fi issue.
What was
Okay,
it?
so what happened?
I
Tell us
basically
all.
I have to run a long Ethernet cable from my computer to my router. So I'm thinking I could do the same thing.
When you move away from the mic,
No, when I
You
move, it's
become
going to be
muted.
fine because I'm not going to be between a brick wall. But I figure I could do the same thing with this little X5 pod, but because, I mean, it has the 2 ports on it, but at the same time, I still would have to run an extremely dumb long cord through the middle of my apartment. And it's like, why? Yeah, so that's the only way to get my internet to work properly. And well, my wife hates that because, like I said, it's a long cord running through like the living room, the kitchen, and my kids are clumsy. Yeah, it's very much pointless.
So do you guys like my my new hat?
Worst hat I've ever
It's
seen. I hate it.
Superman.
Wow.
Kidding.
Oh, I'm excited about this week's episode, Chainsaw. You ain't got to tell me twice. I'm
Is this
excited.
the-
Great thing.
Is this the Stargirl one?
Yeah.
Yes, I don't care how long she's on screen for.
Mad if
I,
it's only for like 5 to 10 seconds.
I think it's gonna be really short.
it
I
is.
think
She's gonna show
That's
up and
what
be like,
I'm worried
"You're
about.
green," and then she's gonna go away,
and
or she's gonna drop a f bomb.
and then the guy who plays
That would be funny.
that would
Gar
be really great.
posted on Twitter saying there's going to be lots more than there's going to be things you want, and then things that's going to be more than you want.
Mhm. I
Mm.
heard this
So,
episode is just good, just like overall.
I hope
Is
we're just,
Chainsaw teasing nudity?
you all have no idea.
He also said we're in for a treat. So
So if
we
if
already
I have
saw
no,
Joseph Morgan buns. So
I think
I,
We
we're
don't
I
need
was
to see
trying
that
my
again.
hardest not to look at that. I'm like, look at the ceiling. It's great right now.
I'm feeling like Donna Smoke maybe. I think we could very well get a Donna Smoke cameo here, and I don't think we
That's too
are
small.
in for it.
Please, God, no.
It'd be so good.
Well, I think Gar is going through the multiverse, in my opinion. That's my theory.
He could be.
What
That'd be
sucks
great.
because this it got canceled, so we're not gonna see nothing else.
I think when he disappeared, luckily I have to give them props for doing 7 and 8 all in one day, because if I had to watch that after Stargirl episode, I'll be angry as hell.
Yeah.
let's not. Let's not have them show up. Although she is showing up, the actress that played Alexa is showing up on The Good Doctor, I think this week. It's good to see them working, good to see them working. But since we're on the subject of Titans, if I have a mod or 3 dubs, if you could like jot down where I start like my Titan stuff and end it so I can clip it, and the same thing with Gotham Knights, that'd be
I
cool.
gotta get hold on, I gotta add an overlay first.
Because
Titans.
we don't, just like Eric's stream this week, we didn't have a lot to talk about, so it's not going to be a super long stream at all. That's what I hate about when stuff is on hiatus. But next week,
Yeah, I was
believe,
about to say next week everything come back.
next week everything comes
Yeah.
back, and we're gonna have Monday. We're gonna have to talk about the Power Ranger special. So I need everybody. I'm excited about that.
Also have that.
Wednesday.
That's
Also
gonna be
have
good.
that.
Man.
Then
And
have
when
that.
I sent y'all that clip, I had just watched it. I was like, oh man, I'm too hyped for that.
But Titans is right there.
Okay, cool. So honestly, I'm glad Titans is back. I enjoyed the mid-season premiere, if you will, a lot more than I did the. Why did you pull them out?
Well, no, they're not pulled out.
How could you?
You're the focus, so you can clip it.
You can leave them all there. It's cool.
We can all hear them. So
You can leave them there. But it was really good to see them, back and with a decent 2 episodes. Like not just decent. Like I really enjoyed these 2 episodes. It literally, when the first episode went off and it was on a cliffhanger, I'm like, wait. I had to think about the fact that they said it's a mid-season premiere with 2 episodes, because the way they ended it, like I wanted more.
Sure.
Like that was crazy. Like I knew something was off with this town with what was it called? What was it called?
I
WandaVision.
didn't write it down.
Yeah, I didn't write it down
I
either.
did not write it down.
WandaVision.
Cause Valley. I wrote it down. Like when I kid you not, my notes for these 2 episodes, I don't think I wrote down the name of it, but my notes are like
The plot of WandaVision.
Good gosh.
I was going crazy.
I wrote like 2 pages. That's it.
Just 2 pages.
I write the bare minimum, man. The bare plot
2
points.
pages is a lot, by the way. He
That's
has
2
a phone.
episodes.
He has
Over
a
2
phone. That's
episodes.
1 page.
1 page each. I didn't write much.
Did you do like 27 lines?
I
or-
skip a line each one.
Oh, you do that.
I literally just wrote down WandaVision. Period. That's all I needed to remember.
I was like, the plot of this story is WandaVision.
But we see them. They go into this town. We hear the the eerily creepy music because like that song was irritating. But I knew it had to be something with the music because it's just the same song playing over and over and over again. And then they go in there, and then the waitress is acting weird. So I'm like, okay, yeah, something's off here. Raven picked up on it first. Then she tells Dick. I noticed Dick only drank the coffee, but of course they put some in the coffee too. It just seemed to it took him longer. It took longer for it to hit him. And I was thinking that, it had something to do with, his training with Batman, conditioning his body, for certain things like that, which makes sense.
Yeah.
So I thoroughly enjoyed that. Everything with the sheriff, them talking about like you can't park an RV in this town. I said, who has a rule like that? I said, Dick, if you don't think something is wrong with that, I said, you was a whole detective in Detroit. What town has a rule about not parking RVs anywhere? Like, Chet, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've never, ever heard of that. Like, yeah, you got to park them in certain areas, most likely, but like not park them anywhere at all.
There's overnight rules, but there's not like
it's broad daylight, and they're in the diner. So he gets them the $150 ticket. I was like, okay, yeah, that tracks because they be charging an arm and a leg for these tickets. So that's how I knew something was off with the sheriff. I knew something was off with the sheriff right from the jump. He doesn't have he had a creepy face. Like he just gave off like shady vibes. I'm glad Corey picked up on that.
Vibes of Candace's father.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad that Dick and Corey picked up on that. They're looking for the horn, and throughout this entire episode, like this first episode, when everything was starting to come together, I'm like, this is really, really, really good storytelling. Like, and the stuff with Tim and Bernard, cool. It felt forced to me.
It was forced.
It felt really, really, really forced. Like the only moment that I honestly laughed at was when they were in the hotel. Although, like they spent too much time on that scene, like the unlocking of the door and the and running back. But when he did like the push-ups on the dresser and went to sponge his hair, I laughed at that. But I'm like, bro, we've been on this scene for like 10 minutes.
It was the most like Hallmark scene ever, and I kind of loved it. Like it was so cheesy. They could have cut it, but I really enjoyed it.
So I was like, yeah, but it just felt forced. And like I said on Eric's stream, like I have no problem with them, including the comic book, trying to include like stuff from the comic books. I just feel as if it was forced because some people may say, well, they never established, what his orientation was, or if he was bi or if he was gay, yada yada yada. I get that, but they should have. Because now it just feels like, boom, this came out of nowhere. Then you have the weird age gap. Because, like, I honestly remember him being in high school last year. And then now Bernard is clearly at least early to mid-20s. At least. So it feels weird. And then he's talking about I didn't call Bernard because he didn't want me doing this type of stuff. He literally gave you a bow staff, bro. Like, come on. Like, that's where the writing faltered for me. It gave me Allegra Chester vibes. I don't need that. It gave me Jordan Sarah vibes. And y'all know how I feel about the relationships in some of these shows. Like, I'm all for good writing. Lois and Clark, good relationship writing. Barry and Iris, to some instances, especially this season, they've had really, really strong moments. But like the will they, won't they stuff, I get you got to write that in to fill time. But like this, you could have spent more time with Dick and Corey. Like, we didn't see Gar at all. We could have got a flash to where he was. You spent all of that time with them in the hotel room, unlocking doors and leaning back on the bed, and Bernard's literally unpacking his whole work case. I was trying to feel like, what are you doing? Like, Tim is literally panting at the door, and you're just unpacking your stuff for the night and glancing at the door. I'm like, what is going on? I found it. Yes, it was funny at times, but it dragged on. It dragged on a little bit too long. They could have shortened that, and it would have felt better. But by all means, I'm glad that Tim got screen time, especially in the first half when they were like in the car together and they saw the RV disappear. And it's like, I get, like, he just joined, so he's not used to like the weird stuff. Like, of course, he's seen some weird stuff, but when he's seen that, like, his face, Jay is doing a phenomenal job as Tim.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really glad that he got this opportunity to portray this iconic character. I'm glad to see that, he's still with the Titans. He has his place. And even Dick said, you're thinking like a Robin. I like that because he was figuring stuff out. And we all know that Tim is literally like the best, like the detective, like right under Bruce. Like, he's the detective. I don't like how they tried to give that over to Dick with what Connor was doing, because yes, Dick is a detective by profession and he could figure that stuff out. But that line with Lex saying, like, and I get it, Lex doesn't know Tim. So of course the first person he would say give it to is Dick. So, but Dick literally could not figure that out.
Lana and Clark from Smallville is much worse.
I'll agree. But
oh my gosh,
Dick couldn't figure that out. So Tim took the reins. I'm like, this is good comic book writing. Anybody that watches this show and has a problem with Jay Licurgo as Tim, you obviously don't read comics, because that was the most Tim Drake thing that he could have ever done. He used his brain. This is what I've been wanting to see from Tim since he first got introduced. He used his brain, guys. I love that. Now, the stuff with Connor, I get he's having this identity crisis thing, but me personally, I'm kind of tired of it already. Because it's like at the top of the episode, he just walks away. And then we turn back around, he's in Metropolis in a suit, just waiting on Brother Blood. Like, bro, whose side are you on?
Will they, won't they is literally their love story.
I'm like, whose side are you on, bro? Like, Connor, pick a side, stay there. You're pissing your friends off. You're pissing the viewers off, rightfully so, because that's the way it's written. But I'm like, I knew we were getting this storyline, but if we were gonna get a Connor that's going down the dark path, they could have, if they wanted to, they could have done some like Superboy Prime stuff with it. Do some amalgam stuff. I thought that would have been pretty cool. Like, what you guys think? Like, what was your thoughts on the over? Yes, you're included in my review this week. What was your all's thoughts like on this episode as a whole? Like at least the first half.
He handed it to us and then shrunk it into him.
Yes, you're included in my interview, and then I go
Talk
like that.
about it. Just kidding.
But let's start with you, Taj. Like, what was your thoughts on like the mid-season premiere? Like as a whole, I rate the episode. As both episodes, I give them like a strong like 7.5, 8 out of 10. In that ballpark.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. My only thing is like, I wish it was a little bit more build up to certain things. I'm just like, it just feel like this back half is gonna be messy because they didn't show us Gar at all. So it's like when that happens with him.
That's why I think it makes sense.
Yeah, but I hope the episode explains why he's been gone.
No, I'm glad that they switched them, because if that was the first episode and then we got these two, it wouldn't have made sense.
Yeah. It wouldn't have made sense. Angry.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. Like, just as a whole, like this season has been fairly decent, and kind of mad it's getting canceled, but it's nothing we can really do about it. Well, it's already canceled, but just like you, like I love Tim Drake. Like, he really got to shine a little bit in this episode with his detective skills, but I just wish they would have gave him a little focus last season when he was introduced, instead of focusing on Jason Todd the whole time.
Yeah.
Because I don't like that version of Jason Todd. He was okay as Red Hood, but like he annoys me. I don't know. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Like I'm really excited to see the next episode though. Like that's where my hype is.
Jensen Ackles did Red Hood better. So
he was in an animated movie, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's no beating that though. Like that's just one of the best things DC's ever put out.
Yeah, that movie was good.
That was real good. I don't know who's going next, but
you're next. Guess first. Cool.
No, I liked it more than I thought. Like I don't know, I wasn't really vibing with this first half. I thought it was good, but I think after season 3, I kind of felt burnt out. Right?
I agree.
Like, it was good. Like I think this has been the best it's ever been, but I kind of didn't care. Like I'd lost interest. I turned out. But I think after it was canceled and me really trying to like come back to like all of these shows, I really enjoyed these first 2 episodes back. It reminded me. And I'm normally not a big fan of like when HBO does those 3-episode things, like, you know, as their premieres. But I thought this one made a lot of sense. It kind of reminded me of the Earth 2 episode on The Flash season 2.
Yeah.
It gave me that vibe, and it felt like a mini event. And I really enjoyed it. There's nothing cooler to me than Dick Grayson fighting with the Bible. That is
they gave me John Wick vibes.
Thing ever.
John Wick vibes all day.
That is so sick. And of course, I loved Tim Drake. I thought he was amazing this week. He honestly, after this whole like Superboy stuff, I think is really weird. Tim might be my favorite character currently. Like I'm really enjoying Tim.
Yeah.
3 dubs.
So I have a few nitpicks about it. You know, like I'm glad that I'll start with the positive. I'm glad that they combined these 2 episodes for the premiere, because I would hate watching them one by week. Like I would want something treatable in the next episode, aka Stargirl. I would like that episode next week than watching 2 boring episodes consecutive.
I get it.
Secondly, I did not like, why is it every time that Dick gets beaten up to a pulp, he doesn't have his Robin suit on? I'm like, the suit isn't supposed to make him powerful. The gadgets aren't supposed to make him powerful. He literally trained as an assassin. Like, Batman trained him, from what he learned and passed it on to Dick. Why didn't he, until the Bible, I get, the Bible, I was loving the Bible fight. But why didn't he use his skills?
I mean, he was drugged. He was drugged at the time.
Yeah, he was drugged. Yeah.
Batman should have taught him how to, handle that.
He handled it as best as he could, honestly, because he was giving them some go at first. He was giving them some go, and he held off. Like his body didn't fully recognize the toxins because, one, he didn't drink as much as Corey went back in to pay the bill and came back out with a to-go cup and was just going to town on her shake. Raven was sitting in there drinking hers. He took a sip of the coffee, so it took it a while for it to, fully affect him. But when it was out of his system, the Bible fight, we got that. So yeah, I get it. Bothered me too until I thought about he was drugged.
Well, I honestly didn't realize he was drugged. So I went harder on the scene than I should have. I didn't realize he was drugged. I thought he just drank some coffee and that was it.
No. The old girl poisoned.
I was so pissed off. Like, from my perspective, when you don't realize he was poisoned, I was so pissed off. Like, why are you wobbling? Fight, damn it!
So what would you rate it?
But I guess the first one 6 out of 10, and the second one 6.5 out of 10.
Okay, so my next thing is the Bible fight.
That had to be 8 out of 10.
That had to be some of the best fight choreography we have had since the very first Robin fight.
It should have been like that the entire series.
Yeah, like this was easily the best fight. It gave me early Arrow vibes. Like this was legitimately the best fight But we can't forget about the fact that the deputies were freaking out when they were in there with Raven, and when they just started like just letting off shots on each other. I said, this is the craziest thing we have ever seen on this show. They just started shooting each other.
It kind of reminds me of the John Wick where he's like, he literally killed 12 guys with a freaking pencil.
And I was scared. I was scared for Raven because I know she probably could have stopped the bullet. But I'm like, they're just letting off bullets on each other like nonstop. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Can we also talk about how good her suit looks?
Oh, yes.
It's amazing.
So good.
It's really good.
I'm glad she got her powers back after that whole ordeal. I will say, I feel as if like they rushed them back from disappearing really quickly. I say that felt rushed because in the first few minutes of the episode, I know we saw Gar, but then I don't know if I missed something, but then we were suddenly back with the core Titans group minus Gar.
Yeah, that's why I think that the switcheroo, makes sense because Gar, in my opinion, disappeared after episode 6. So I think he accidentally got thrusted to the multiverse or something like that, because that would make sense for Stargirl and Doom Patrol if they want to bring them in. I'm not entirely sure if they are, but I also think that it would, if these episodes were after Stargirl, I would be more pissed.
Yeah. Because it wouldn't have made sense.
And the fact, I think the reason why there's 2 episodes for this day, particular, is because they knew how boring it was. So they wanted to these 2 episodes combine and be like, hey, this is just an episode for wait for something epic next week. Because that's that they're hyping that up because they don't want to wait 3 weeks for it. So yeah. And then but yeah, I think it makes more sense that Gar's missing in these 2 episodes. If he was missing after Stargirl, I would be more pissed because of like, where's Gar? Why didn't you mention him? Stuff like that. There would have been more problems.
Okay. So yeah, I am looking forward to the next episode of Stargirl. Let me know down below what you think. Let me know how you liked it, and subscribe
going off camera,
to the Geek Drums Nation.
That's how I liked it.
I guess Darren liked it. I hope you liked the group style review. Yeah. But like I said, if you liked it, tell me what you rated down below in the comment section. If you're new here, subscribe, hit the alert bell, and never miss another nerdy video. All right, bye. That's how I end my video. So just clip it right there. Just clip it right there. You're all in the development process. Yeah, rest in peace, Jinx. Apparently, Raven can send people to heaven. So
that was a waste of a character, man.
That was a waste of a suit.
Yes.
I thought she was gonna come back.
I did too. They spent money.
That was a really good suit. I don't.
It was.
Why...
They literally, the Teen Titan, 2003. They literally have 2 of them. They have the guy that with the gizmo, and they have Jinx.
Yeah.
Where's the third guy? I forget his name.
No, was it Mammoth?
Yeah, Mammoth. Yeah.
Mammoth. Yeah.
Why is he called Mammoth when he looks more like a saber-toothed tiger?
He do like saber-tooth, but
Yeah, they're only missing Mammoth, and they could have Slay Wilson. Get the Teen Titans.
They could have did that.
It would have been more fun too.
Yeah.
Okay, chat.
Time for a second one. I literally dropped out within 2 minutes.
Okay, chat. Are you ready? Are you ready for the drama?
Oh God, what's the drama?
Okay, so you're gonna have to make this like a single thing until I bring in the group discussion. because I have to get this out. Okay, so chat. This is a very different Geek Drums live stream. So I'm gonna do it. Chainsaw, I cannot deal with you today. All right. But I'm gonna do this like I would normally do it. All right. Hold on. I got to get into character. Hold on.
Take two, everyone.
I can't do it. I can't do it without laughing. Hold on.
There's 4 people staring at you. 15 actually.
What's up, guys? Welcome to today's video. In today's video, we will be talking about Gotham Knights as a whole. Why? Because I can't for the life of me think about the title of the last episode, and that's just really telling about how I feel about the series going forward. Going forward, I will not be reviewing it separately on my channel, especially after this last episode. I couldn't bring myself to come in this room and sit down and record a video. It feels like a chore. After what was one of their best episodes, which is honestly not saying a lot, the episode where they, fully introduced the Court of Owls, all that good stuff, they gave me another dud. Now, the whole show, like the whole episode as a whole, was not a dud, but when your core storyline, your main storyline, again, feels like filler without being actual filler, that's a problem for me. Now, I will say, the Harvey Dent stuff, I am enjoying it. I love every single minute of Misha Collins as Harvey Dent dealing with this new take on the Two-Face storyline, the multiple personality storyline, finding out that it's basically a mental disorder that he's inherited from his father. That's a cool way to go about it. Finding out that it's really Two-Face. It's really Two-Face that's been sleeping with Rebecca March, which is actually hilarious because this man been getting cheeks on the side and don't even realize it because Two-Face took over that part of his life. That's very interesting. That's storytelling. Give me an entire episode just dedicated to him. This could have been a show just about him and the court, and I would have been more interested than I was with the main storyline, which is, and for me, let me say that it didn't make sense. They decide to go steal from the mob, whatever. I cannot think of the gang's name to save my life. I did not take notes because I was that tapped out of the episode. It's weird. It's weird, guys. They decided to go do this on a Sunday in broad daylight, like they're not wanted criminals. It's Gotham. How many people do you think are actually at church in Gotham? That was a dumb line to me. And yeah, the mob people may have been, were they Irish? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. I don't know what they were, but it just felt dumb. Me and Eric talked about it this weekend. They were in a warehouse and they acted like it was only one entrance when you literally saw another door on the other side. So they're acting like they were stuck. Duella being Duella as she always is, sometimes kind of sticking out like a sore thumb to me, like a Alice Carbon copy. Literally, that's what they're making her be. Having these weird side discussions like Harper and Cullen being mad at Harper for, joining the mob and doing this job. And then we find out it's because she wanted to help pay for his top surgery. That was not a time to have that conversation. Carrie answering her mother's phone call in the middle of a life or death situation did not have to happen. It did not make sense. If you're about to get killed, I'm not about to answer my mom's phone call. Like, honestly, I'm not. It's just dumb. It doesn't make sense. Now, guys, I have 3 other friends with me. I'm pretty sure one of them actually liked the episode, but that's what I like about my channel. Everybody has differing opinions, and I want to bring them on. Me personally, I give this episode like a 5 or 6 out of 10, only because I liked the Harvey Dent stuff. But I want to bring them on. I want to hear what they have to say. And We're just gonna have a big old discussion about it. You guys can let me know what you think down in the comment section down below, and we'll just go from there. So, if the people snickering in the background could jump on the screen right now, we're gonna start out with Darren. Welcome to the rant and somewhat review. The review will be Darren. Welcome to the rant and roast of Gotham Knights. Was it episode 5 or 6? I don't remember.
Yeah,
episode 5. So I loved episode 4, guys.
Yeah.
I loved episode 4. I loved it. But then you give me a dud and you let me all the way down. It went back to how it was before. It was so dumb to me. The way that they got the cops off their tail by throwing the money out instead of Robin using one of her gizmos. You're already wanted criminals. Just take it to another level. Who cares? You're going to prove your innocence anyway. But no, let's throw money so people could run in the street and possibly get hit by cop cars. Let's cause a mass casualty event because we want to throw out money. Let's just do that in the middle of a residential street, mind you. Let's do that. That way the cops can get off our tail. Because that's the smartest decision. Not only are we blowing our cover being, wanted criminals, but we're going to do that. Also, the GCPD is there because they have them on payroll, but you don't tell the commissioner. You could have just said, we got a tip that they're out there. It's ways of you not giving away that you're working for the mob, that you're, like on the payroll. You could be getting the people that you want for the court at the same time. There was so many things in this episode, in that whole little scenario alone, that did not make sense. And trust me, after episode 4, I wanted this episode to give me that same level of intensity and shocks that the whole Court of Owls reveal did, finding out who Talon could be. The whole thing with Harvey figuring out that his other personality potentially pulled the coin out of evidence lockup and sent it to Lincoln March because he wants to get rid of him so he can have Rebecca all to himself. I put all that together in my own little personal theory in my head because that's how invested I am to that story. I just felt extremely, extremely let down. No Court of Owls stuff. You don't have a huge episode like that, and then don't tell us that the next episode is going to be filler. At least that's what The Flash does, so we know what to expect. We know what to expect. It may not be roses and cherries, but we know what to expect. I went into this next episode excited. As soon as it came on, I said, oh, it's Harvey stuff right now. Harvey stuff? Oh, never mind. They're coming up with a dumb plan right now. Okay. Oh, wait. It's some oh no, it's no stakes. It's no stakes. They're dealing with money that yet again for the second time in a filler episode, they get a lot of money that they do something dumb with it. Talking about some and then that's how they get their names from the news, and the newscasters don't put 2 and 2 together. That it's the wanted people that did this. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. All right. So not only is GCPD stupid, but the news people are stupid too. Are they we may not have the Dark Knight anymore, but we got the Gotham Knights. Guys, they called us the Gotham Knights. Is that what they're going to call us? Wait till they find out the Gotham Knights is Gotham's most wanted fugitives. Shut up, Turner. Shut up. Because you all went out in broad daylight. And if another thing, those cops know it was the runaways. But you're not going to go tell. You're not going to go tell? Seriously? They know it was the runaways. You literally have them dead to rights. But you're not going to go tell Harvey. You're not going to go tell the commissioner who wears really big suits for some reason. You have them dead to rights, but you're not going to do anything with that information. It doesn't make sense. Okay, Darren, you take over because it doesn't make sense.
The entire chat hate the episode, and then let Darren talk and let everyone hate Darren.
Oh my goodness!
No, listen, Listen,
Oh my gosh.
maybe it's just I wasn't paying much attention. I didn't come out of the episode like having those issues. I thought it was just a fun like one-off episode. Like I was like, that's fine. It's a fine episode. I thought the Harvey stuff, of course, was really good. Like I love Harvey. I thought the only like somewhat issue I was having, like I think there's dumb points, right? Like there's dumb moments that happen here, but I'm actually starting to really enjoy this cast of characters. Like I'm really starting to feel the like chemistry between all of these characters. I'm really enjoying them. I mean, Chainsaw, that's fine, man. That's fine. Like you don't have to agree with me. I'm really. I think this. Like I am enjoying. Listen, we've watched a lot of CW. Like we have watched 700 plus episodes of CW over the years. This is still better than half of the Arrowverse, in my personal opinion. It just is. I thought it was fun. It was a fun filler.
Half of the Arrowverse?
I'd say yeah.
I'd say a
we
quarter
watched a lot
at
of bad
least.
Arrowverse.
Yeah,
man.
that's true.
But not half.
But in terms of like the
Not
characters,
half.
even if the episodes are bad, at least the characters are. Most of them are good.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed them.
There's a lot more episodes than 13.
all I'll say is this. Like I said, I didn't hate the episode as a whole, but when your core storyline with your main characters, with your leads, like doesn't catch my attention, like episode 1, 2, and 3 did, that's a dud for me. Like I don't want to be known as the content creator that gets on here and just, just shits on all the episodes. I don't want to do that. If I don't have nothing good I'm not just going to get on here and say, yeah, I love the Harvey stuff, guys. All right. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I really could have made this a short. No, I'm not about to do that. I'm not about to do that. Now, I will say this show is, like Laura said, it's leagues. Why isn't this popping up? There we go. I didn't hit the right part on the mouse. It's leagues better than Naomi. Way better than Naomi. Uh-oh. Did you add them?
Yeah, but
you gotta redo it. There we go. It's leagues better. It's leagues better than Naomi. What's up, Darren? Darren. What's up, Aaron?
Yeah.
I think Darren's already here. He's right next to me.
What's up, Darren?
Like it's leagues better, but it's like the more I sat back and thought about it, it's so many things in this episode that just did not make sense. Like I guarantee you, the next episode, the cops are not gonna say what actually happened. And like I said, they had them dead to rights. They let them get away. They let them get away. Who changed my name to Rant Drums?
You took your sweet time looking at it.
They let them get away. Like you had them dead. You let flying money stop you. And the Gotham Knights that were trying to give the money back to the city, they put those people in danger. Like the people was jumping out of cars, stopping their cars in the middle of intersections, could have hit somebody. Now, if they wanted to be really edgy, they could have had a couple cars, collide. If this was on HBO Max, this was on Titans, this happened on Titans, I guarantee you we would have seen bodies everywhere. But it's weird. It's like they don't think. They weren't thinking when they were writing this. And granted, these are the Batwoman season 1 writers. They didn't think a lot of the time when writing Batwoman season 1. So will I say that this show is better than Batwoman season 1? Yes, I cannot lie and say that that Batwoman season 1 is better than this. I cannot lie. But what I would do is I would scrap the stuff with the Knights altogether. You could leave Duella because Duella is literally Diet Alice. Take the Harvey Dent stuff, put that in Batwoman season 4, put Javicia in a shiny new suit again just because, and you got gold right there. That's the show. That's the show. And
Golden
then people
Knights.
want. Yeah, Golden Knight. Batwoman season 4. Harvey Dent. Harvey Dent is the new big bad. He's dealing with his Two-Face persona. You get to episode 5. You almost get the reveal. Boom. Mid-season finale. You pick up the back half of Batwoman season 4, dealing with full-fledged Two-Face, and we're good.
It is so crazy because I think you could have easily have just done this whole thing on like Batwoman. Like you could have easily, like you could have even casted like almost all of these characters, put them in a season of Batwoman, and it would have made sense.
Exactly.
Outside of the whole like Bruce Wayne being dead thing, like that's the only thing that probably wouldn't work. And Sophie Brown too, I think.
I still don't like the. I mean, I still don't really like the explanation on Cressida drugging Bruce Wayne over time and him like never realizing it. It's weird. Like how don't you realize that? So the talent can come and like pick you off. I still
wouldn't Bruce Wayne be getting regular physicals or checking his blood and stuff? Like, wouldn't he notice there was something in it? I mean,
exactly. And I'm like, you say you didn't base this off the game, cool, but the Bruce Wayne in the game was literally beaten to a pulp by a boosted up Ra's al Ghul, and still managed to get rid of him and managed to at least pull himself halfway up out the gutter before he died. This Bruce didn't put up a fight at all.
Through the window, through the wall.
He's definitely through the window. But I don't know. I can't bring myself to review it. Flash, cool. I'm never gonna, just like hate review Flash because I love the show. But I'll throw it in. I'll throw it into like a Monday night live stream or something. Or if the episode is really good, I'll do like a short on it or something I could throw on TikTok. But doing a full-fledged review when I can't even bring myself to take notes because it can't hold my attention, I'm not gonna do that no more. And my reviews for Gotham Knights was getting numbers, but the one where I was actually positive, it didn't do well anyway. So I'm like, you want to get those people want to get those hate views. I don't want to do that because I don't want to be known as one of those what's the proper word?
Trolls.
Trolls. Yeah, I don't want to be one of those trolls. Like I genuinely I gave the show a fair shot. I gave it up to episode 5, like I've been saying since it was announced.
That's what I did with Naomi. I gave Naomi up to like episode 5 before I was like, okay, I'm out. I'm done.
Oh, the train's late today. All right.
For Naomi, they canceled it right at 5, so I dropped it.
Yeah.
That's funny you mentioned that. The week after that episode was when I heard they announced they weren't going to be like moving forward with it, and so I was like, all right, I'm not gonna continue to watch it. By the way, I think
show it all.
Did you guys think about this on the 25th? So remember like how the other shows were announced, the cancellations or the ending of the shows, that it was like done while they were on the air for the most part. I have a really bad feeling about the 25th because I know that there's not really an official like, oh, this is when we're going to announce if the shows are going to be renewed or not. I know they haven't said that, but if they're going to give us an idea of what the future of the CW is going to look like, they're going to have to announce some sort of like what scripted TV is going to look like on the network. And I have a really bad feeling like if they don't announce that they're going to renew something at this, then it's canceled. That's the way I feel about it. Like, even if they don't come out and go, oh, we're not going to move forward with Superman and Lois, they may choose to not do that. But if they don't explicitly say they are moving forward with it and they announce like, oh, we're going to move forward with All American Homecoming, but they don't mention Superman and Lois, then that's it. That's it for that show and Gotham Knights.
I agree. And honestly, now that you said it, this is around the time of year that like TV as a whole is announcing what's coming back. I know the
upfronts are coming up for like a lot of the networks. Yeah.
I just lost. I was mad when they said that The Resident wasn't coming back because I didn't feel like they said that they had a feeling that they weren't going to be renewed. So they ended it in a way that was, a closure to the series. I don't feel like it was a closure to the series, but people knew like when they found out that they were literally selling, breaking down a set and selling off props. I'm like, so you're basically telling your cast and crew like, yeah, we're canceled. We just haven't officially announced it yet.
Also, the thing about Superman and Lois is if they're not going to be able to move to Metropolis, they don't have access to the Smallville set anymore.
Yep.
So the network might say, well, we don't have the set anymore, so we're just not going to do it.
So I have a question. So there's that potential like writer strike happening, right? Do you think that would affect any of this? Like, do you think they would choose to like pick a show up or not due to that?
I don't think so. I mean,
the potential writer strike is why Superman and Lois got picked up anyway, like before the pandemic.
And
so
the writer strike happened back in like 2005, no, 2006, 2007. There was a writer strike for season 3 of Supernatural and that season 7 of Smallville, and a bunch of other shows were hit with the writer strike. And
actually, writer strikes can sometimes help because if they already have a show that they can, like, if a writer strike happens when they're trying to pick up new shows, there's no shows to pick up. Yeah. So they have to just renew the ones they have. So sometimes it will help with shows.
Just definitely the last time, like before the pandemic, was definitely why Walker and Superman and Lois even got picked up in the first place. And then they ended up getting additional episodes before the show actually started airing. So it's like I told, I just wrote Justin on Twitter about it. I'm like, they could literally wait until May 1st when it's supposed to take effect, I guess, and say, okay, yeah, we're not striking. I don't pay attention to these writers' strikes anymore because they don't really happen like they did back in 2007.
It would be really, really, really bad for everyone if the strike happens. So it's in their best interest to negotiate something. Yeah. Like that's typically the way it works. Because the problem is if the writers strike, then that means a bunch of projects go on hold. And it's actually would cost them more money to hold up these projects than it would be to renegotiate contracts with writers. Yep. So,
and since DJ Eric wasn't here for my review, I dropped out in 2 minutes to the show Gotham Knights.
Oh,
that's how bad it was.
You know what though? I think it's really sad because I feel like Gotham Knights with the right setup could have just existed in the Arrowverse.
Yeah,
it could have been an Arrowverse show. There was nothing. Yeah, there was nothing inherently there was nothing inherently in it that couldn't be changed to fit within the Arrowverse. It's like they just purposely left it out. I mean, you could have even like dropped some of those characters into Batwoman and made it a side story, and it would have worked just fine. You know.
Yeah. I always thought killing Batman is like never like a good thing for a Batman family show, but missing is okay because there's a potential of him appearing. Vanishing, like going off the train, going off world is okay, because Justice League. So there's potential other variations, but killing him off is never a good idea for a TV show.
So
there was no Knuckles font, so like
veering off the negativity. I sent this to 3Dub so I could earmark it, but the Knuckles TV show actually sounds interesting. Like I was already interested in it, but the way they're talking about it, like Tika Sumpter's in it, so they're keeping a lot of those connections. Like I guess it takes place right after Sonic 2.
Yes, and I think it leads up to Sonic 3.
Sonic 3, okay. Yeah, it's in between.
Yeah. Now, for an actor like Idris Elba, did anybody here really expect him to agree to do a show where it's just gonna be his voice? Like, I never in a million years thought he would sign up to just do a show. A character in a film, yeah, but to film like possibly like what, 6 to 8 episode series where it's just like voice work. I didn't think he would sign up for something like that.
It's money.
I mean, I get that, but a lot of actors don't. Like, a lot of actors won't.
I bet Han Solo would jump on a voice, animation voice of Solo going through because it's money. Because like he said, he's like, if you pay me, I'll do it.
But like Eric, you get what I mean? Like, a lot of actors wouldn't do that, and I see like. I always thought of Idris as like doing something like he wouldn't do something.
Well,
like
I mean,
that.
Wasn't he in that show Luther? That was the show
but,
that he was in. I mean, he's done shows before.
but not
I also
voice
think-
work.
I also think the
Yeah.
line between movie and shows is getting very blurry.
Yeah, Paramount Plus is a good example of that.
yeah,
Like they're like a lot of their shows, especially their Star Trek stuff, is like at the level of like movie production
yeah,
and special effects and stuff. And limited series, I know like a lot of times we're seeing shows that are only like 6 or 8 episodes long. That's a movie commitment. Basically,
Yeah.
they filmed that in the time they would film a movie. So it's not a big commitment, especially voice acting. That's probably even less of a commitment because all you're doing is going in with your Starbucks and talking into a microphone for like a few
Yeah.
hours. So
Now, do you think if this show does not do well, because it seems like one of those things where like you would expect Sonic to show up at some point or another, but I don't see them doing that. Do you think if this show bombs, like if it gets abysmal ratings, that it would affect Sonic 3?
no.
Or do you
I
just
don't think
don't,
so.
or they just
Sonic
won't do any
2,
more spin-off shows?
Sonic 2 solidified that movie. Sonic 2
Yeah.
success made Sonic 3 possible.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think the show would affect it. They would just probably not do another season of it
yeah.
if that happened.
I hope it doesn't, because I like Knuckles, and they tease like they went all the way back to like the comics. Like they teased that like he's wearing the little hat and everything.
Look how
So-
Marvel yeeted the Inhuman show. It's like it never even happened. So that's
Yeah.
probably what would happen with
This will be my
too.
first
It's
time
for the best.
finding out what Shadow is, because I've heard about him, but I've never actually seen or heard his voice. Because it's for me. I watched like Sonic X maybe like here and there, but I've never actually seen Shadow.
He's just a clone.
Well, I kind of how did he from Sonic 2? It made it sound like they had him for 50 years.
Yeah, that's how it happened. He's been
How
held.
did they get
Dr.
clone?
Giro, I'm about to say Dr. Giro. I got my mind on Dragon Ball Z. Dr. Robotnik's like
Android 18
grandfather
and 17 are in the show.
is something with his grandfather creating Shadow like a long time ago. I don't know what's up with this universe and just wanting like anthropomorphic hedgehogs and alien hedgehogs, but it's something to do with the grandfather, but they're going to make it fit this universe because they went the route of like extraterrestrial, like really, really, really hard. So it's gonna fit. It's gonna fit.
Why are doctors always evil in these video games? Have you noticed that? It's like
Yeah.
in movies or
Doctor
TV shows,
Strange.
always evil doctors, just all the time.
That's
You
what
think
Sheldon
you
literally said in the. He's like, all the evil guys are doctors.
What if Jim Carrey shows up in this like just randomly?
Isn't he done?
No, I
No.
don't believe that. I don't believe that.
He literally said that if there's a script that catches his eye, he'll jump back in. It's it's not an indefinite done, but he's like semi-retired.
let's jump to the best show that's been on the CW since Flash season 1.
That's
I
a
already
crazy
did
statement.
my review on
That's
this.
a
You don't have
crazy
to do
statement.
You didn't go
Went
back to the
wrong.
right one.
There we go.
Superman and Lois this week, I loved it. I saw people hating on the fact that they did the whole like showing like basically a cold open showing her like going through this chemo journey. I loved how it was just no words. It was just them. Like I just said, this is how you do a relationship on a superhero TV show. This is how you do it. They're taking proper care and not going too far with this cancer storyline. They're handling it very, very, very well.
And I like the fact that Bruno Mannheim didn't actually say, "Do you even have cancer?" Kind of like that.
No, actually, if he would have said that, that would have fit with his character. Like, I expected him to say something like that. I'm expecting him to say, "I'm the reason why you have cancer."
I had a feeling.
I don't know why. I just got a feeling.
When he got the Lois Lane, the doctor thingy where he's looking at her file, it probably says like there's tests and stuff like that. So essentially he knows that she has cancer.
So
Like legitly.
if my theory on Darlene, which I did not expect John Henry Iron's sister to have that name. Like they like in casting calls, they were only calling her Dr. Iron. So I'm like, Jesus, like they both have like old people names.
Dr. Jefferson.
Darlene and John. Like when they were younger,
I haven't heard that name in for like Darlene. I haven't
when
heard
she said
that. This is the 80s probably.
Yeah. I'm like Darlene Irons. So if she's really working for Bruno Mannheim, because me and Eric, we talked about it. We don't think that the bomb would have even
Grandma
went off.
Esther. I just haven't.
we don't think the bomb would have actually went off. And I find it funny how it was John's fingerprints that unlocked it. You know, that was convenient. So if this was all a part of the plan, like what if she's working with Bruno? He got her to basically plant evidence that, you know, oh yeah, Lois, you have cancer. If a doctor tells you that and they falsify documents and whatnot, they could have planted something in her body. You know, I wouldn't put it past Bruno. He's literally making metahumans.
Why would he go through the trouble of her getting cancer and then coming to his facility to snoop? Why would he, test that? Like,
it's Bruno. He's crazy. What do you mean? Like, he's nuts.
Lex, I can understand because that makes no sense.
I actually don't think Bruno's crazy. I think Bruno's very smart. I don't think he's one of these insane mad scientist characters. I think I think from Bruno's point of view, he's the hero.
Yeah.
That's what I think. He thinks he's the one doing the right thing because looking at his situation, this is why I said on the stream we were on that I feel like they're trying to sort of humanize his agenda, because if you look at where he came from and everything that he's dealt with, you can sympathize with his situation, but you still know that he's doing evil things. And so, I think that's great. I mean, I don't see him. I mean, do you guys see him as someone that's like out of their mind? I don't think he is to me.
I think he's gonna become more and more unhinged.
Maybe.
I mean, like I said Saturday, he didn't mention that, but
it's hard when you have a person that will look Superman in the eye and tell him to get out of his house. That's somebody that I don't think it's going to be easy to push him over the edge.
You have somebody
very confident.
You have somebody fly at you in a gigantic metal suit and throw you not against your bar, into your bar.
And he looks at you and says, if you do something to me, your entire family's going to die. That's not somebody that I see falling off. You know what I mean?
He didn't flinch with it either. Like he just calm voice. And I said, dang, John, like you don't scare him.
What's kind of funny
scares him.
When we're trying to be sympathetic with him, he's being the hero from his perspective, is kind of like what John Henry Irons did in season 1, where he was, from his perspective, he was being a good guy killing Superman because that Superman killed, the face of that Superman killed the entire world.
But at least in that instance, he was actually a good guy. So, dealing with all of that, was anybody scared for Lois when he bust in the office and he didn't rush in there, he walked in there slowly, and I'm like, Lois, cameras.
I think that he knows that her whatever type of cancer she has is probably it works well with whatever they're doing to people. So he might want her for that process. So he wasn't going to do anything to her. I think that he's grooming her to become one of his followers. That's what I think he's trying to do, because that's why he told her all that stuff. What other reason would he have to tell her all those things? He showed her the lab. He explained his background. He knows that what type of cancer she has. I think he wants her to become one of his super soldiers.
And let's make a point out where Clark knows Bruno Mannheim and knows the man he is, and walks up to the door, knocking, and
I just started waving.
That was so Clark Kent to me. I really
wanted Bruno to be like, "That's your husband."
And then, is it okay for spoilers now?
It's been a week.
Okay, so
they haven't seen it by now.
I had a feeling they were going to use Bizarro.
I did not think about Bizarro.
I didn't either. That caught me completely off guard.
I jumped off my couch when that happened.
The reason why because I connected Doomsday. Doomsday and Bizarro. I connected that because Batman v Superman did the exact same thing, just with Zod.
That's true.
True.
Yeah. So I have a feeling that this Doomsday is Bizarro. So it's doing. We thought originally that Doomsday was the big bad of season 2, and it turns out to be Bizarro. And now Bizarro is becoming Doomsday.
Or do you still? Let me see if I can look up that.
Cancer, the character Cancer with a K. I will say this, that the fallout from Clark finding out that they kept his doppelganger's body locked up and did not tell him.
He's getting tired of the DOD in general.
Yeah.
He's 100%.
And my favorite Superman line that referenced that is, I already gave my allegiance to the world. So he doesn't have allegiance to DOD. So
no, not at all.
One wrong move and he could destroy the whole facility.
Yeah, like they have already proved to me. It's always funny to me. It reminds me of like the police department in Gotham. Like they're so incapable of doing their job. It's just funny.
So, Eric, you put me on this. You put me on this character this past week. Could you give the guys a rundown?
Well, I mean, Canada Graphs said this was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. There was a character on set with like rock formations or something, and then I believe that was what it was. I don't know if it's on his blog or not, but he did say something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing here, but that could be Doomsday, absolutely. However, this character's name is literally Cancer. And there's been versions of it made from General Zod. There's been other alternate versions of it. It's a Kryptonian. It has all the powers of Kryptonian, but it's got a necrotic touch, which is the power that like seems the most aligned with like a cancerous type character. Now, I don't think they'll call the character Cancer because I mean I think that's just too on the money. But a green rock, like a green rocked version of like Bizarro Superman could totally be a version of this character. Sure. And if he can touch things and make them like die, that's gonna be rough for Superman to deal with. So
that My Hero Academia comes to mind with that. There's a guy that touches.
That could be that caught my attention. And we all know Todd Helbing loves to rope us in, and we think we know what's happening, but then boom, he hits us with a curveball. Like I this week it totally clicked in my head that they finally got rid of the whole XK making, superpowered beings, and now it's like a diluted form of Superman's blood. And I'm glad that it's just not giving everybody, Kryptonian-esque powers. Just like Tag
Where's the wall of weird? Where's the wall of weird? Exactly. We need a wall of weird for all these characters.
like Tag, where's Tag? Is he still in the show? I miss Tag.
Yeah. He's probably just in that training facility, I'm guessing.
He's probably tagging someone else.
I really thought that back when Superman Lois was still on like Earth.
Turn your mic up.
Am I like really low?
Yes.
I've had this issue all week. So back when it was both on Earth Prime, I thought he was going to be in the like Justice
Move
League
it
show.
Closer.
I did too.
I thought that they were going to have him the like one of those core characters.
Move the mic closer to you because I have it like literally right here.
Hello?
There you go.
Yeah, your mic is just low.
I'm gonna have to maybe get like a new one because I've had this issue all week.
Is it slowly dying?
Maybe.
Uh-oh.
What if this I have so many fanfics in my head about the way this is going to end, but what if this like Cancer Bizarro character has this necrotic touch and he uses that to cure Lois's cancer because he's able to like isolate what he wants to kill and he kills her cancer? What if that ends up happening? Like because he lost his family, he lost everybody. And if he sees her, it might bring back memories of his Lois. And you know that he's got feeling. he feels very like responsible for what happened. Remember the backstory from Bizarro Earth? Like he was basically struggling with addiction and stuff with his family.
Which brings me to the theory. You know, the reason why you think that could be cancer is it makes a lot of sense now because he dosed himself with like kryptonite. I think Green K or silver. Yeah, he dosed himself.
XK made him strong. No,
well,
Green K made him stronger.
Right, K. They were using the green version on that Earth.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You know, Green K makes he was dosing himself with Green K, and if you look at cancer, he's green.
Right.
Yeah.
True. But what if this backfires on Bruno? They revive him. They think they can control him, but we already know he wasn't a bad guy. He's not afraid to kill by any means.
Right. He's a Superman that's willing to kill people. That's pretty much
the way he tore through the Superman of America. Wow. But he's not afraid to kill. But if this backfires on him and he gets revived, and it's because we know Superman, he doesn't really die. So if he's just like in like a sleep state, I highly doubt that he will let Bruno alter his mind, alter his way of thinking. So if this backfires on Bruno and he just comes back as like, a regular guy, because he was trying to help Superman when he got killed.
I actually think that he's gonna come back with sort of like a memory loss or something. I don't think he's gonna remember stuff, and that's why I think Lois might trigger his memories. Because if you think about it, you're right, Lance. There's no way that this version of Superman, Bizarro Superman, would help Bruno Mannheim, especially not after what happened.
He got through to them and everything. So it's like, what if he comes back actually speaking forwards?
He probably will. We know that Kryptonians can do that. They can reverse their speech. We've seen them do it.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I know that Superman, gets his strength from the sun, but it will be the reverse of Bizarro, right? So what would be the reverse of a sun?
The red sun.
Yeah.
Or red sun?
Yeah,
the red sun or kryptonite injections. That's the only thing that will give them.
What if they they didn't use the red sun radiation? I was thinking they used Green K when they were trapping Superman. So I was thinking they might do like a red sun radiation while he is caged up.
I guarantee you Bruno has that though. I feel if he has people that could get into the DOD to like steal his blood or whatever, and he has like he could go to all those DOD black sites. If they got his body, I'm sure they have a file. They got a file on him too. All we know
what's
is
going to happen. What's going to happen to him once they start putting our Superman's blood and replacing his blood with it? Yikes. He may actually just become like the yellow sun may actually work on him because his blood might have something to do with how he absorbs radiation.
What if he does become evil and he becomes like not Superboy Prime, but like Superman Prime? Or we are getting
Cyborg Superman.
Could be that. And, I don't want to get into this mindset of how people, jump to conclusions over episode titles. But apparently one of the last episodes is called Injustice. What if he just becomes
Ultraman?
That's another one.
I just went small.
The only reason I'm going towards this cancer character is because of the color and the rock formations.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why, because all of these other things could be true. And Injustice could just deal with the fact that it's a Superman that's willing to kill, because we know that was one of the big things about Injustice. He may kill Lex Luthor instead of the Joker. Like Bizarro may kill Lex Luthor, and that's the allegory for killing the Joker.
Or kill Bruno and they keep Lex for next season.
I think there's a high probability that this is going to somehow connect to Lois. I think Lois is going to get hurt, and that's going to trigger Bizarro Superman, and he's going to murder one of the main villains, either Bruno or Lex Luthor. I think that's what's going to happen, because that's what happened in Injustice. But then they're going to find out that Lois isn't dead. But in his mind, it just reminds him of what happened with his wife.
All I saw on Twitter was like, oh my God. And people were telling like, oh my God, it's called Injustice. They're going to do the story. I said, you guys are going to get your hopes up. And it's just going to be like you did in Armageddon when Barry said Injustice, and that was just a protocol.
Well, they can't really do Injustice on Superman and Lois. There's not enough heroes.
Exactly.
It's just
Why would
y'all
won't get your hopes up for no reason.
By the way, the Injustice storyline, even though it's got some good points, that animated thing was bad.
It was
like,
terrible.
Like, let's not go there. I'm not trying to lose some of my favorite characters within the first 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, have you started reading the new John Kent run yet?
No, not yet.
You should. It is great, and he's going to.
How many issues is it?
I think like two or three. It's not that far in. I think that I know he's going to meet the Injustice Superman. And I saw some lines of dialogue, and like he's like that Superman is completely freaked out. John doesn't know why this Superman is beating up Batman. You don't know what's going on, but it's like the tagline was like, when like somebody was saying like the Superman that lost his son is finally going to get to meet the son that he lost, kind of, sort of. But the fact that Ultraman in this universe has tech that he's using to weaken other Supermen to the point where he can incinerate them. And now John has to also deal with the person that held him captive and took his childhood away. I said, see, Tom Taylor, this is how you write a story. This is good storytelling. Give us more of this. You thought this out. I'm like, yeah, Brian Michael Bendis may have decided to age this guy up for no reason, but you're making sense out of the story.
I also really hope they don't kill Lex Luthor, because that would be like
too. That would be Titans all over again.
Titans and
I don't think Lex is dead though.
It would be kind of like recycling already told story.
I actually think that it may be Bruno. I think that he might kill Bruno, because if Bruno does have plans for Lois, that may piss him off, and he just kills Bruno Mannheim.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we get like a Superboy laser beam right through the head.
By the way, are we going to talk about the Superboy proto suit that got posted on?
You mean the gray sack of
okay, I'll be the first one to say that I do not like to judge suits so early. I like to wait until they're in action. But I was so underwhelmed by that suit. I mean, very, very, very underwhelmed.
Can someone bring it up?
Is it that bad?
I totally
is that bad.
You know what it reminds me of? Like, I'll be honest with you. When I went to prom, I had a brown and gold tuxedo and a black undersuit, because I was in the 90s, so I was rocking out the MC Hammer fashion, right? I had the big shoulders and all that. When I saw that suit, it brought back those awful flashbacks of prom pictures that I will never show on the internet, because I was like, wait a minute, hold on.
You should show them one day.
Like my actual prom suit had a zipper. It was like a zipper jacket with like shell toe Bobby Brown shoes. That was the style in the 90s, right? So that was the thing. Actually, surprisingly, I know you're not gonna believe this, I think I actually have that suit hanging up somewhere in the house. I'll have to go look for it. Definitely can't fit in it, that's for sure, but might still have it. But when I saw the suit, that's all I thought about was like 90s prom. I'm like, why does this look like a 90s prom suit? It was
Which Superboy suit are we talking about? The
one for Jordan. The one for
Jordan. Yeah, I didn't see that. Can someone
I didn't see it either, yeah.
Oh,
I'll see if I can find it real quick.
Because I just checked Superman and Lois. I'm like, where is it?
I think it was in a picture from the next episode.
It was in a picture, and it looks wrinkled.
Oh,
this out of context Animal Crossing post is hilarious.
And somebody shared that. I said, "Oh shit, Barry running from the Scorpion."
That's funny. Creature Command. Oh, guys, we did find out about Creature Commandos. Crossbones is now Rick Flag Sr. It's weird when they cast people so close in age as a father and a son, because like Rick Flag Sr., when did you have Rick Flag Jr. when you were 12? They look almost the same age.
I think it's good casting, but
yeah, it's good. It's good casting. Like I'm all for it.
They wasted him as Crossbones, so
they did. And then when they finally gave him the actual Crossbones mask, you drop. Wait, like do you?
He got blew up.
He got blown up. Like after you drop the building on him, you blow him up. Okay.
Still trying to find it. I can't seem to. I looked at Kryptonite site and I also looked at Superman and Lois.tv. Both didn't have it. I didn't check the other one, the one that's legit. I mean,
All right, I
the one
found it
that's.
for you. I'll send it to you through.
Which is first,
Discord.
the first suit for Superboy or Ralph's first prototype suit?
And
Oh,
the
Ralph.
only reason we know it's the suit is because he's got the mask in his hand.
But Ralph's suit was hilarious, though.
It was.
Send
It was.
Twitter.
That was a onesie.
It was funny though.
Somebody on Facebook was talking about Jordan suit, talking about some man. I wonder why Jordan got those goggles in the first place. I said, did you not pay attention to the episode?
I would have, based on this picture that we have, I would have rather than just gave him a Superman of America suit.
Yeah,
honestly.
that would have been.
It looks like mud.
It is.
Yeah, like what is this?
I think he got it like really dirty on his first like.
Oh, okay.
Life.
Okay, it kind of looks like a Smallville season 9 mixed with Smallville season 10.
Yeah, I think it
leather
might
jacket.
be all black and we're just seeing the mud covering it. Like,
Yeah.
but it's still not great though. Even if you take away the color.
Did he wipe out again? We're just gonna say he wiped out.
Yeah. Like, honestly, yeah, I still imagine it in all black and zipped up with that mask. I still don't think it's going to look very good.
Yeah,
I don't either.
It
He
looks
looks
like
very upset.
it looks like a miniature trench coat.
Yeah, dude.
My issue is he's like, oh, I'm going to get you a super suit, and then this is what you deliver. I'd be like, well, take it back.
Where's
Have it
the
back.
S?
I don't want it.
Where's the S? I mean,
There's nothing here. It's going to be a black tactical suit. I'm like, just.
well, this is definitely a version 1.0. So.
You could have. Why couldn't you just give him like a suit that kind of looked like
I
John's suit.
John's suit from the Mirrorverse?
I would have liked,
Not Mirrorverse, Bizarre World.
I would have liked the Superboy from what is it, the Reign of Superman, where he's got like a jacket on, red pants, and then sunglasses.
I think
Superboy.
we will.
Oh,
I
the
think,
animated
like,
movie?
like,
I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about now. Yeah, I know
I
what you're
think
talking
by
about.
the end of the movie he's going to get something new, and this is just him like earning up to it. But
What do you think Bizarro is going to do when he finds out John L is locked up? Because isn't he still locked up? Do they take him back to Bizarro Earth?
How are they going to explain that? Because that's John L. That's Jordan Ellis's face.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're just gonna put him in a suit, so they're just gonna put Michael Bishop in it, and he's just gonna be a little wider. He's gonna fill out the jacket more.
He's going to look more twingy, like Jordan. What if it's actually Jordan and they switch John L into Jordan, like because this new guy can't act evil or something like that.
Jordan Elsass played a really good evil version
Yes.
of Superboy. So,
but this new guy probably can't. Would he be able to do it?
He probably can, but now I know this is Jonathan's suit in the in the current comics. Like he went like completely capeless to look, to differentiate.
No capes. No capes.
He went completely capeless. It's funny because Val Zod actually asked him like, "What's up with your suit?" When they first met, he was like, "Well, that's weird." So
I don't like. Okay, so the reason why I don't like this design is why go with this design if you're going to take the cape off.
And didn't Supergirl already decide that capes are aerodynamically?
Yeah, but Supergirl doesn't have cape.
Remember
either.
Cape Tricks from Supergirl?
Yeah.
And then during the because Wynn said that capes suck, and you can tell your cousin that I said that. And then next scene, you see Supergirl flying into a sand dune. And okay, capes are aerodynamic. Okay, that makes sense.
I like two things. Number one is if you're gonna do a no cape suit, I think it needs to look like the Mon-El suit, which is basically the reverse of the Superman colors. I think that works pretty well. Or do something a more monochromatic, something that's all one solid color. Because this design is so classic. I mean, yeah, the belt's different and the boots are shaped different, but overall, this is just the classic Superman design without a cape. If you're gonna do that, it just looks like it's missing something, in my opinion.
Well, I think it should be all black and the boots should be like red, staying red.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I get why they did it, but when they first relaunched Superman by making everybody forget who John and Superman were, the whole super family got a redesign to where they're wearing jackets. So John was originally wearing a like Smallville-esque jacket over this.
Yeah.
So he just lost the jacket.
Also, I don't, and I know that this is probably something I've heard people talk about it before. I don't like this belt with this suit.
Yeah, it's weird.
I just don't.
It is weird.
I've never liked his belt. Honestly, I never liked his belt.
If you're going to go with that belt, then some of that gold needs to carry through somewhere else, either on the boots or on the chest plate or the maybe gauntlets or something that ties that gold in with it. Because right now it looks like he went out to a party, he lost his belt, and someone loaned him one. Like that's what it looks like to me. If you're going to use, again, this looks like the classic Superman suit with the cape missing and a different belt. And I wish it was just more unique, honestly. Like I will say this, and I know we're not talking about it here, but a really cool take on like a Superman super girl redesign is the Sasha Calle suit in the Flash movie. Yeah, I like the way that looks.
It's basically this. It's basically this, like with the shoulders and everything. It's basically this.
But
I like that. I like how the shoulders turn into the cape. Like it's not a separate piece. It's like all one piece. I think that's kind of neat.
But honestly, I think if we're gonna go for like they're gonna pull from here for Jordan's design. I honestly
every single costume in this picture is based. It just
that's the guy. That's the guy. On the behind the girl with the blonde hair. That's the guy I'm talking about. That's why I think
the 90s, the
Connor
90s.
With the jacket.
That's why I think. But in the animation, he had sunglasses as a
I've seen him with sunglasses. Actually, some of the comics he has sunglasses as well. It just depends on who's drawing them.
Now, do you
that's
think?
What I think Jordan will look like.
I have a crazy idea. It's the reason I brought this picture up. I have a crazy idea. We know how Superman's blood is out there. We know what Bruno's doing. We don't know how many facilities Bruno actually has. Him or Lex could have a facility in China. We've already seen one of the members from the Justice League of China in the Arrowverse already. We saw Avery just, sans powers. You think we could end up seeing Kong Kenan as the Superman of China with this whole Superman blood going around storyline?
I mean, there's always a possibility, right?
I wouldn't be against it. I think it would be pretty cool. Like, see something different. We already have a version of Connor on the show. We've already had like 3 different versions of Kara. Got a John. You just need a Kong Kenan.
Yeah. I tell you what, I love the idea of this, but the only problem I have with it is it's very reminiscent of the Shazam family.
True.
And I don't know if the show, because we all know how many times the Flash punked Wally because having 2 speedsters was so overpowered. My biggest fear is if we start introducing multiple super people, there's always going to be some reason that one of them can't be there or something along those lines, and it's going to be annoying. Having just 1, maybe 2 people with superpowers, I think is for this show might be the limit. Honestly,
that's why I don't want Jonathan to get powers.
It's similar.
Yeah, I don't either.
Very, very different. I mean, there was it was version 1-0.1. It doesn't have any Superman ties to it. So this suit that I'm thinking that Jordan will have a more Superman tie to it.
But do you want to know why I think they're gonna do it? It's because of who the showrunner is and what he did on another show with a speedster, with a certain speedster who took somebody else's suit.
Wally West?
Because they didn't want to make another suit.
Right.
Wally West?
No.
because it's just a version of Reverse Flash.
No, that his suit is very different from Reverse Flash.
Like
I'm talking about Jesse.
OG.
Oh, you talking about Jesse Quick, the
Jesse.
trajectory suit?
Oh, trajectory, yeah.
And that was
Yeah.
under Todd Helbing. So
Yeah.
they just didn't want to make a new suit. They just slapped the emblem on that.
Well,
That's
they
true.
did. Reverse Flash OG season 1 suit is like literally Wally West's.
No, it's not. It's just leather. It's just leather and yellow.
Same texture and same everything.
Yeah.
I actually heard some of the people in Vancouver have talked about the suits for the Arrowverse shows, and that the people that make those they're extremely cheap to make. I mean, they're not like cheap in terms of like regular clothing, but they're like 3 times cheaper than the leather suits. So they're very easy. So yeah. Well, I've heard they feel like pajamas. The actors have said that the neoprene and spandex that they make them with, it feels like wearing pajamas. Basically, they're warm and they're very lightweight. I don't see why that's why I'm so annoyed they didn't give Jordan a proper suit. Like, why is he getting like an Arrowverse season 3 suit? I don't understand. Especially considering how good both of the Superman suits have been on the show.
Yep.
Both of them. I didn't have a problem with season 1 and 2, and I definitely don't have a problem with season 3.
The steel suits have been really good.
Yeah. Natalie's suit's good. I don't have an issue with Natalie's suit.
Well, Natalie's suit is just January's suit just shrunken.
Yeah.
What if they
really good,
what if
It's just
Clark
slender.
still has what if Clark still has his early suit?
Iron Steel.
I actually don't think he would give him his early suit, because I feel like that's the one his mom made, and we know that was very nostalgic for him. So that's probably put away somewhere. I don't think he would do that.
You'd be like, your grandmother made this.
No, Lance, you know your kid. Would you give your kids a T-shirt or something of yours that was made by somebody that you cared about, and be like, yeah, go outside, even though you like look at the suit he was wearing in that picture. It was covered in mud. Like, no, I don't think he's gonna do that.
What if Todd Helbing recreates the whole Christmas scene from season 3 of The Flash with Wally?
Oh,
And
no.
and John Henry is basically the HR Wells talking about getting drunk off the eggnog, and he's like, yeah, way to go, Jordan.
You know, I also want to point out he could have just given him a solid black tactical suit with a mask. Like, tag suit looked good. The Superman of America suit was fine.
They could have just cut his hair
Superman
and called it a day. Either way it go. If he had, why is my name Javicia Drums now?
It took you like 20 minutes.
Alex in that interview, Alex says that he didn't want to cut his hair. He would have done it, but he said he didn't want to, and he was nervous they were going to make him
Either
do it.
way it goes, you can recognize it. How many people in America have that haircut? A lot of people have bushy afros. If he cuts his hair and flies out there still, who's to say somebody won't recognize him with a regular haircut?
Right.
Yeah.
What if his hairstyle is literally slicked back like Mr. Terrific?
That could have worked.
I mean, it could have worked.
I don't like
Then
that.
well, his the reason why Mr. Terrific's hair, he's human. So how long did it take him to braid it? But it makes more sense with Jordan because he's super speed. Because he has super speed.
I mean, think about it. If you really think about it, and now this is just like the talk about anything portion before we wrap it up. If you really think about it, how long does it take Team Arrow to actually get to a crime scene? Because they're regular humans. Sure. They have to put their pants on one leg at a time. It takes Mr. Terrific even longer because he has hair. Pull his hair back.
Do you remember the Cisco comment on it? He's like, "This is so cool, so cool," and he's like, "This is going to take so long." So he calls the Flash.
like if we really think about it, they should have never been able to stop crime, like anybody, because they would take too long to get there.
And then somehow Barry arrives just like 10 minutes before or whatever, when the Green Arrow and Roy Harper come in and fight Roy. He comes in late. So why did you call him?
You know what else I just thought about? If Barry where does Barry leave his clothes when he goes into the Flash suit? But when he puts the Flash suit back on the mannequin in the early days, he's suddenly back in his clothes.
He probably puts it in the mannequin that we never actually see. He swaps it.
Todd Helbin ain't that brilliant.
Can you imagine how? So as a speedster, can you imagine every day getting ready to go somewhere? It takes you like 1 second, and then all of a sudden you lose your speed, and you're back to like, how do I, like,
That's why I feel bad whenever Barry
dressed or
loses
whatever.
powers because he'd be miserable.
Sure.
And Wells actually commented on that too when the second episode, Barry runs off to the crime scene with his flash suit, and Wells is like, "So when do you think he's going to realize he forgot his clothes?"
Yeah.
Oh, he had to steal the clothes. See, they only
he
commented
pays
on
for
that
it.
like
He
once.
pays for it though.
I think they do a gag once, and you're supposed to assume that it just happens often, and we're supposed
Yeah.
to just go with it. I think that's why.
I mean, I guess it does because hasn't Barry like reworn the same outfit like all 9 seasons?
A lot. He's done
After
it a lot.
Elseworlds, we never actually see the toilet coming out of the wall again.
That's true.
We haven't been. They haven't locked anybody up in the pipeline.
Well,
I think that's an
an
Eric Wallace thing. I think Eric Wallace has an issue with that because I think it's
Yeah.
an ethical issue, probably. To be honest, they haven't done it anyway because of Cecile and Joe thinking it was a bad idea after like season 4 or whatever.
I mean, everybody does break out of there, so
Yeah.
Well, with Wells's help.
that is also true.
Also, there wasn't a place to put them, and now I believe Iron Heights has a metahuman wing, so there's a place to lock them up.
Yeah,
Before they
it was
didn't have those.
introduced in the season 4 when they locked up the Flash for being a superhero.
Yeah.
So before we go, Eric, are you going to be watching the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers anniversary special on Wednesday?
You know what? Okay, so what's weird to me is that they released a clip today, and I saw it, and I'm like, you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Cobra Kai. It's a lot like the Cobra Kai TV show in the sense that, like, you know, you go back to like the 80s and the 90s and you see these old films and TV shows that we love, and they try to bring it into modern times, and they're like, you know what, we're just going to do it like we did it back in the day.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that. So I'll probably be watching it, but I'm not expecting it to be like, you know, cinematically amazing, but I'm sure it's going to be a lot like nostalgic, you know, television.
I believe the budget's higher though.
It is.
We wouldn't see in the OG TV show, so we might actually get something like cooler.
Isn't that because they have to actually shoot the scenes this time instead of just using the ones from the Japanese show? So,
people are mad because like, oh, it looks like the 90s show. That's the point.
I mean, that's what they're doing it for.
Point.
Yeah,
they're time traveling.
It's an anniversary.
It's
yeah.
a time
It's an
travel.
anniversary.
They're literally time traveling.
I'm like, but it's still like it's an anniversary special. You're supposed to feel that nostalgia.
I mean,
So
if you want to
it's
see an updated one, just watch the movie from like 4 years ago. Like, if you want to see something updated.
Yeah. By the way, those suits that were in the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger movie were really good, and then you watch the TV show and it just like falls backwards. I'm like, what the heck?
The most recent movie, or which one?
No, it was the one with the where they go to this planet to get their powers back.
From the original movie. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the original movie.
Yeah.
Their suit,
those
Power Ranger suits were. Really
you
cool.
mean so the movies that were based on the show is what you're talking about? Okay.
Movie, yeah.
I thought you meant like the 2016, 2017 movie or whatever.
Although that movie is heavily slept on. I love that movie, and I wish it would have done better than it. Than its like theatrical run did, because like people review bombed that, and that movie was actually not that bad.
Yeah.
They wanted it to be the show, and it just wasn't the show.
To be a stuff didn't help.
I like something new, as the next guy, but for me it was more about I get the whole they were taking the learning too slow for my personal opinion, because when they morph, it's been explained in the show that when they morph, they automatically know how to drive a Zord, how to do this, but they made it more realistic, which for me, it should have like wrapped up within like 10 minutes for me. 10 minutes to 30 minutes, of learning the whole montage of learning, and then have epic.
Well, it doesn't make sense. How can you turn into a Power Ranger and know how to do all of your martial arts stuff, but then you don't know how to drive the vehicles? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. For me,
Billy was driving up.
Driving it backwards.
Was backwards.
I will say my favorite scene is when the slap came. And she goes flying. Rita Repulsa goes flying into his face. And he goes, "Did you just big slap him?"
No, I will say the only thing I did not like about the movie was how they formed the Megazord. It was just a beam of light, them falling into a hole, then they come back as the Megazord. The Megazord design left a lot to be desired, and we didn't actually see a morphing sequence. We're going to a Power Rangers film. You expect to see the cheesy, slapping of the morpher masters on. Yeah.
It was
instead of them holding hands, and then you have the trademark beam of light and all of that. But that's what we're getting at in this animated special. Zach seems like he's leading everything. In that clip that they released today, you could tell that Steve Cardenas is he ain't been practicing on his fighting a lot because he
I noticed that.
He was moving slow.
He was slow.
I noticed that. They need to speed that clip up a little bit.
Remember he has a back problem.
Oh yeah, I forgot. But then why call him all the Red Rangers in the world? You call him back.
They needed the Mighty Morphin version. He's the only one.
You could
back.
Just update it. Like you could have made Billy the Red Ranger. You could have made Zach the Red Ranger. He does not look like Jason's bigger than him, and Jason moved better than that back in Beast Morphers.
Well,
let's be honest.
Jason didn't fall on his back though.
That's true too, and he wasn't in the suit.
So Jason would have been in this. So hey, that's all I'm saying.
Would he really?
Probably that suit would have been stretched out.
Exactly.
But no, I'm excited for it. I don't know why they thought that this was good. Eric, you heard about that the horrible version of Power Rangers, like the Mega Force, like one of the worst seasons. Why are they getting an anniversary special in August?
It's gonna be so bad.
I think they're hoping I actually think they're hoping that nostalgia just brings in more views. That's what I think they're hoping for.
I seriously think that the way me and Lance think that Megaforce is the worst, like beyond the worst, but the people that grew up with it from the start, like they didn't see the original Power Rangers all the way up. They just saw that. So for me, I think they're more into it. So the reason why that we haven't gotten canceled with the Power Rangers because of the failed, that what we perceived as a failure. I think that the kids that watch it now loved it.
Sure.
So
that one came out when I was in like 5th grade, and I still hate it.
I was
one of the worst.
Well, you were 5? No, you were like 14.
Whoa, what?
You were 14?
Oh, Lance, did you finally start
5 in the 5th grade? You would be like a genius if you're 5 in the 5th grade.
You still didn't start Mandalorian, Lance? Come on.
You want to know what I've been doing? Oh, and guys, I have a huge flex. I've been on this, I've gotten back on my Dragon Ball kick. I binge watch all of Dragon Ball Super. I binge watch all the movies, and I'm currently, I got through the Android and the Cell saga. I'm currently on the World Tournament saga, and I was bored, so I bought a PS4, a PS3, and bought the remastered Budokai Collection, Burst Limit, and Raging Blast 2, and I'm gonna start that gaming series. I've been reinvigorated.
I watched the beginning of Dragon Ball, not because Flash Freak over here, skip the when
I love Dragon Ball. That's what started it all.
I'm like, why are you watching Dragon Ball Z before you watch Dragon Ball? And he goes and says,
he's not a real fan.
He says because it does flashbacks to the Dragon. Yeah, flashbacks, but not the entire show.
Well, technically, you don't have to watch Dragon Ball to go into Dragon Ball Z. No, I get it, but I'm just saying for like a new person, I don't think at least you have to. No, I get it.
I didn't like her as Rita, Robert. I did not like Elizabeth Banks as Rita. It felt weird. It felt
she was too cheesy, like campy in the movie, where the rest of it was like kind of serious. So it kind of stood out.
But she looked pretty fine in that suit, though.
She did, though. She did.
Is your cat okay, Eric?
No, she's like freaking out.
I thought I heard that.
My cat's just sleeping. She's like,
she's very needy today. She's been walking around meowing all day long.
But yeah, so that I'm starting my my gaming stuff on like just reviewing old. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, just like reviewing old Dragon Ball games, and hopefully my wife can like.
He got the right dragon. He got the right dragon, just not the right show.
I'm sorry, Laura. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do it. I promise. But like my wife can't beat me in Xenoverse. Maybe she can beat me in the like games that don't have that fast pace of fighting like the early Budokais. I'm gonna give her a fair shot, but it's just like I've been reinvigorated because we're getting Budokai Tenkaichi 4 coming out soon. We're getting another Mortal Kombat, getting another Street Fighter, getting another Tekken. Just like all the stuff from my childhood is getting like new releases, and I'm excited. Like I haven't touched my game this much in months because no game has caught my attention. Like I'm reinvigorated, guys. Like I'm excited.
Do you play online games? Like you play like Fortnite and stuff like that, or you don't touch
I suck at Fortnite.
Oh God.
I actually don't, but I don't. I as soon as I play it, I get sucked in, so I stop it because I don't like the.
Nah, bro.
We my way in.
We all gotta get on Fortnite one day.
I'll play Fortnite. Eric, do you play Fortnite?
We just gonna carry Lance.
Very little. My brother plays it all the time.
Where has he been?
He's got a weird schedule. I'm going to call him when we get off of here because I saw him posted on Twitter. So I'm going to call and see what his work schedule is.
Fortnite does not suck. If you say Fortnite sucks, well, that means you just suck at Fortnite.
It sucks money.
It sucks
money. You're right. It sucks money.
You trying to get all those different skins, the Barry Allen skin, the Oliver Queen skin, the Superman skins, all those, the Marvel skins.
I'm going to download Fortnite. I'm going to try Fortnite.
No, you gotta get on with us.
Don't buy anything. Don't buy anything. Don't buy. Once you do, you can't stop.
I spent like my PS Store limit ran out the door when I bought all the DLC to Xenoverse 2 because I got on that game and then it said I have not touched it since like 2017 and I didn't have nothing unlocked. I said, "Wow, really? I quit that fast?" It's because the newer games don't suck you in like the older ones did.
And the reason why I don't play much games is because every single time I start to like something that's coming out, they don't make it for the system that I'm on. I was totally psyched for Jedi Fallen, the sequel Survivor. Yeah, I was excited for the Survivor, and guess what? It's not a PS4. And then I was excited for the third sequel to.
You don't have the 5?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
But it's 5 and 4 can cross, so we can actually still play.
No, anyway, I'm gonna jump off here though because I'm gonna take my cat in the other room because she's being weird. So I will. I'll see everyone later on.
Cool.
All
right.
Yeah.
Goes back again.
but yeah, like we definitely gotta get off Fortnite. We're gonna have to carry Lance, but like it's okay.
I suck too, but I'm not like
you're probably not as bad as me.
It has a little pointer. You point and shoot. It's not.
Yeah, it's pretty.
You get used to it after a while.
Yeah.
The third person. I wish they switched it to first person, but because I rock at first person. Third person is a little tricky, but I can still shoot.
I like the third person because if I do first person, I'm gonna be raging all the time, and I don't have time for that.
Well, first person, you only get like wherever you turn.
Yeah, that's true. But I like the third person because I can see everything.
Yeah, third person,
especially for that game because you'll get sniped out of nowhere.
Third
Like,
person, you get the
it's
whole
ridiculous.
Spider-Man experience, 360 awareness.
Like literally after we get off of here, I'm getting on Fortnite with my cousin.
Well, when we get off of
usually
here,
get
I'm gonna be clipping my reviews, which we're about to hop off. I have to go eat dinner. And
Yeah, I do too.
watch some TV
You have
shows.
to
I'm
clip dinner.
starving.
Yes, you do. You have to clip some dinner.
Oh,
So-
All American came back tonight too.
Oh, it did. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's already on. It's already 8.
I'll catch it on my DVR on my DVR.
It's 7:20.
Short.
It's
So it's
Oh.
8. It's 8:20 for me. Yeah, so it's already on.
How's the future?
Eh,
Is Rock still present? Oh, Rock president yet?
But guys, I'd like to thank everybody for joining and listening to my rants and being a part of my reviews of sort for the week, because
yes,
ran
I have,
short on
and
time.
it's the most annoying thing in the world.
Oh, that's weird.
No, it's like a certain gun that when
Oh.
they snipe at you, you get it from like a legendary chest, and it's like a light that shines on you, and then you're gone.
It's
just
also
hit you.
yeah, you have like literally 1 second to snipe them, because if that shows, they're scoping you.
Yeah, I
And
usually peep it, but when I first got in the game, I was getting tore up because I didn't know what it was. I was like, "What is going on?"
yeah, those are sniper, because there's every sniper has a glare when they're scoping, so that's how you spot a sniper.
I did it this week because you're not gonna clip it on me when I'm talking. Everybody, I'm gonna tell you what everybody's doing right now. 3 Dubs is picking his nose.
No, I'm not.
Taj is doing the gritty, and
Yes, he is.
Darren is eating another ham sandwich.
I'm too tall to be doing the gritty.
It looks
Weird.
delicious though. He doesn't want to share it with anyone. But guys, I want to thank you all for joining me today. Huge shout out to Darren, Taj, 3 Dubs, and Eric. I linked their channels in the description box down below. If you are new here, please hit the subscribe button. Turn on the alerts. If you are subscribed already, thank you. And turn on the alerts so you don't miss my reviews and whatnot. And we'll be back next Monday. I don't think I have any reviews posting this week. I might just be posting like some gaming content later on this week. We shall see how that goes. But guys, I will catch you all later. You have a good night. And that's about it. Taj is already eating, chowing down over there.
That's me.
Yeah, I got some lemon pepper wings and fries.
Oh wait, you too?
Mm-hmm.
We're both eating.
Oh, that.
You don't eat during a live stream. What are you
I
nuts?
just drank a whole Dr. Pepsi. I'm always snacking on it.
Listen, it is the end.
The end, we're snacking and grabbing
deal
some
with it.
mics, microphone grabbing.
But guys, I will check everybody later. I'm going to review Titans this week. I'm going to try to have it out at least by Saturday at the latest. I have a gig this weekend.
You already reviewed Titans.
No, the episode this week.
Oh, this week. Okay.
Are you okay?
I was like a rant. You just ranted, remember?
He
But,
might be hungry as well.
I think I am too. But guys, I'll check you all later. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
3 Double-ish.